back. There's another hack attack.
Hundreds of supermarkets in Sweden are forced to close after a cyber attack that's hit organizations all around the world.
On a fateful Friday on June 2021, an encryption message started appearing on supermarkets across Sweden. The supermarkets were all owned by Co-op, and it has over 800 stores, mostly in Sweden.
President Biden says the US is not certain who is behind a ransomware cyber attack that's hit 200 American businesses and one of Sweden's biggest supermarket chains.
Train operator SJ, also based in Sweden, reported that all their financial systems were down, and in the coming days, pharmacies across Europe and the US reported that they couldn't process any payment. Visma, a software developer who makes the system for Co-op supermarket chain in Sweden, notices something is going wrong and immediately calls cybersecurity giant TrueSec. In the following weeks, it would be discovered that they were not even the main attack. They were just collateral damage in a supply chain attack.
At least 1,500 businesses in 17 countries, including the United States, are still reeling from the effects of a massive ransomware attack. The hack is believed to be, if not one of the biggest, certainly at the top of the list of biggest ransomware attacks ever.
On a US company called Kaseya, this was a major global cyber attack. The ransomware group called REvil was reveling, pardon the pun, in the limelight. This is Moran. REvil, also called Sodin or Sodinokibi, is an offset of previous ransomware group called Gunkrab, which was at its time the most pervasive and damaging ransomware. Another group that is considered to be an offset of the same group, Gunkrab, is Darksiders, aka Black Matter, which would later rebrand to Alpha, aka Black Cat. They are Russian-speaking, and the group emerged in 2019. REvil is a play on two words. A lot of people will say it is ransomware evil, but in reality, it is actually more based on the video game Resident Evil. So what is REvil's modus operandi? They are ransomware as a service, again, similar to Darkside and Black Matter. They use a double extortion tactic, which means they steal your data and demand payment for it not to be released to the public. And they also encrypt your data and demand a ransom to decrypt it. It is known to recruit affiliates all over the world. Their payload has been found to be a .zip file. It's written in JavaScript, and if not erased from a system, it can replicate and reinstall itself. That's what makes REvil ransomware very dangerous. Delivered through phishing campaign, they are also credited as the developers of the sinister Kakbot banking Trojan. In 2021, as if ransomware as a service was not enough, they also introduced distributed denial of service as a service. Sodin has been found to gain initial access using three primary tactics: RDP attacks, known vulnerabilities, and their pierce de resistance, phishing and email scams. REvil has had two lives rather. In its first life, which was between 2020 and 2021, some of the high-profile victims were Donald Trump. REvil claimed to have deciphered elliptic curve cryptography that Donald Trump's firm used to encrypt their data. They were extorted about $2.5 million, and it's not known if they paid the ransom. Notable targets have been Lady Gaga, Madonna, Acer, the company that makes very good laptops. Apple has also been compromised through a supplier called Quanta Computer, which leaked blueprints of incoming iPhones and Mac laptops and watches. And then somewhere in mid-2021, REvil made their biggest attack yet. It was on Kaseya. It's a desktop management service based in the US, and it's used by over 1,500 companies around the world. At least half of Fortune 500 companies use Kaseya. This can be seen as the beginning of the fall of REvil campaign, because in July 2021, REvil assets online and servers seem to have vanished. Just about the same month when Biden and Putin, the American and the Russian president, met to discuss about this Kaseya attack and said they have to do something about REvil. Around the same time, Kaseya receives a decryption key for their data from an unknown trusted third party. It's later discovered that the unknown trusted third party was the FBI, and they've actually had the decryption keys for 3 weeks, and they've been restoring victims' data secretly. In September 2021, a backdoor is discovered inside REvil ransomware. It was installed by the original founders of REvil, and it is believed it was to cheat affiliates out of payments. In October October, REvil servers are hacked and taken offline by the FBI, Cyber Command, and Secret Service. In November, an operation called Gold Dust, involving 17 countries, arrested 5 suspects, 3 of them being REvil and 2 of them believed to be connected to the parent ransomware group, which is GandCrab. In January 2022, out of nowhere, a complete surprise, Russian authorities announced that they have dismantled REvil and they have raided 25 addresses, arrested 14 people, confiscated luxury cars believed to be from criminal proceeds. And that was it. We thought in January 2021, REvil is gone. 1 month after Russia announcing that they've taken down REvil, they invade Ukraine.
After months of preparations, the Russian President Vladimir Putin has launched a major military operation against Ukraine. Speaking on national television, Mr. Putin urged Ukrainian troops to lay down their arms and go home. He warned that anyone who interfered in Russia's actions would face retaliation. Loud explosions have been now heard in Ukraine in lots of different cities as the Russian assault has begun.
In the background, the United States is discussing the extradition of the suspects arrested in the REvil dismantling campaign. Talks break down after the invasion and surprise, REvil resurrects. In April 2022, REvil infrastructure went back online, but this time it was redirecting users to a separate ransomware group that was unnamed. But the new ransomware website contained new victims, but also old REvil victims. REvil's known associations are more publicly known than secret. We understand that they were an offshoot of GandCrab, and they are either partners or siblings with DarkSide, aka Black Matter ransomware group. There is also strong evidence of connections between them and the FSB. Since their resurrection, they have claimed hundreds of companies, the biggest ones being Signag, which is a French manufacturing company, and Medibank, which is one of the major banks in the world. How can you prevent REvil ransomware attack? Oh, it's easy. Again, maintain up-to-date backup. Make sure you have off-base backup, isolated media as backup. Make sure your systems are up-to-date and create cyber awareness in your organization about the threat that may face that organization.
Excuse me, just had a quick question. Do you have the time?
Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to comment everything you liked about this video or everything you didn't dislike. Watch our other videos. You can watch this one, which I talk about alpha ransomware. Stay cool. I'll see you next time.